Hello everybody and welcome back to Elvis vs. the World. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a quick summary and review of HBO Max's newest series titled Velma, episode 7. Like always, if you are down with the content, please make sure you give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and let's get into the episode. Oh, and by the way, follow me on IG and Twitter. So we start off the episode with Velma on the pursuit to search for her mom. Her hallucinations are finally gone as she is full head on in finding her mother. She tries to find out what Jinkies could mean, so she looks at every Jinkies related item possible. She reads her mom's old manuscripts to see if there are any clues, but she can't find anything. Daphne has been trying to get in contact with Velma, but every time Daphne messages Velma, she always ends up not being available to answer. Daphne begs Velma to talk about her finding her biological parents, but Velma ignores. Velma is spooked by Sophie pretending to be dead on the floor for her fogposal. She asks Amon to go to the Fog Festival with her, which he agrees. Fog Festival is when all the citizens of Crystal Cove come out and celebrate the notorious fog. Velma is pissed that the festival is still happening as the serial killer is still on the loose. She tries to get Amon and Sophie to change their minds, but no dice. Velma questions how Fogfest is going to even happen with the curfew in place. Amon tells her that the curfew is done and that everyone in the town believes the serial killer is just the ghost of Edna Purdue. To save face about her mom, Principal Rogers published an article saying that her mom, quote-unquote the ghost of Edna Purdue, is just back to finish her work and that she exposed her, case closed. This all seems like how people treated another type of pandemic virus. Sophie reassures Velma that no girl can go to Fogfest alone and that they need a date to accompany them. Velma is pissed off that everyone in the town is buying this story, even the police. We then go to Fred practicing how to ask Velma to the Fog Festival, which his parents are strongly against this. His parents tell him that since they own Jones Gentleman Accessories and is sponsoring the Fog Festival, and that Fred is soon to be next in line to take over the company, he must win Fog King, and that if he doesn't win Fog King, he is banished from the house. Norval and Gigi seem to have broken up as Olive tries to make Gigi feel better. Olive basically says that he's trash for ignoring her and that his grandmother is a ghost and that Gigi should just forget about him. Velma pops up to tell Olive and Gigi that it's a serial killer that's doing the killing and not a ghost. Norval pops up out of the locker and asks Gigi to the Fog Festival, and though several rounds of thinking, agrees to go as they seemingly get back together. Velma confronts Norval about going to Fogfest and how it's not safe, and there's no way that he believes all this stuff about his grandmother. Norval says he feels bad for how he treated Gigi and is going to make it up to her by going with her to the festival. He also says that Velma needs to go too, as she is someone who used to enjoy the festival a lot and that it could be a stress reliever for her. Velma tries to ask Daphne to go even though she has ignored her, but gets interrupted by Fred. Fred persuades Daphne to go to the festival with him as it gives him a better chance of winning Fog King, and now they are somewhat back together, at least for the festival. The night of Fogfest arrives as Velma is in deep research about her mom. Amon and Sophie and Amanda head out to Fogfest to the dismay of Velma. Velma sees Daphne heading into Fred's limo as she tries to call her to get her attention, but Daphne won't budge as she's still pissed at Velma. Velma kills a spider with a roll of paper as she instantly recalls using her mom's manuscripts to kill off spiders. She reads one of the manuscripts about invisible ink and tries to see if the Jinkies note has invisible ink. She holds the note to a lamp and a phone number 555-0166 pops up. She tries to call the number and the person with the welding mask that attacked Carol last episode is seen picking up the phone. The person just breathes heavily and then hangs up. Velma tries to recall what she hears in the call, including the sounds from the background, and realizes that the serial killer is at Fogfest. Velma needs to head to Fogfest as soon as possible, but she won't be allowed in because all the girls need a date and she doesn't have one. She decides then to disguise herself as a man. We then go to Fogfest as Norval accompanies Gigi to the festival, but from the shadows is the serial killer. Velma gets past Daphne's parents and the sheriff even through their suspicion. I mean, it is a small town, so if they've never seen this person before, yeah, it is sus. Velma says her name is Manny as she punches the sheriff on the, well, you know. Velma, disguised as Manny, tries to look for the serial killer and spots the killer from the top of the drop tower ride. Norval asks Gigi to be his fog queen, as she of course reluctantly says yes. Fred is pressuring people at the festival to vote for him as he sees a flyer from Norval and Gigi to vote for them. Fred is pissed as he needs to win Fog King. Daphne sees a disguised Velma from a distance as she tries to look for the serial killer. She's instantly whipped as she tries to pursue Velma's disguised Manny. We then see the serial killer lurking in the fog as Velma still tries to search. Olive and Kimberly then run into Manny as they're impressed with her. Fred confronts Norville about wanting to be Fog King, and they end up fighting in the middle of the dance, leaving Gigi unimpressed as she doesn't care about being Fog Queen. Daphne drags quote-unquote Manny into the fog as she tries to flirt and asks Manny to dance. She drags Manny to the dance floor. Manny does the worm and instantly becomes popular with everyone, which is completely the opposite of how they would treat Velma. Manny goes on stage and says that ghosts are not real and that there is still a serial killer on the loose. She tries to reason with the crowd by saying that y'all can have fun tonight, but tomorrow curfew needs to be back on. Daphne tries to nominate Manny for Fog King as she draws huge cheers from the crowd. Norville and Fred are pissed as they try to find ways to outshine Manny. A montage of Velma disguised as Manny being favorable throughout the town plays. An Easter egg is that the music played in the background was one of the actual songs played during the old Scooby Doo montages. Fred's parents see how popular Manny is with the town and reiterates to Fred that if he doesn't win, he's out of the house. Manny stops Fred by accident as he celebrates throughout the festival tent. Manny tries to tell Daphne that he needs to leave, but Daphne begs Manny to stay. Daphne trips as Manny catches her, and Daphne confesses to Manny that she's been having a bad couple of weeks because she found her biological parents, but that they were actually criminals, and also that Velma is ignoring her. Daphne starts to fall for Manny as Fred pops up and reveals to her that it's just Velma in disguise. After Manny slapped Fred by accident, he instantly found out. Daphne is pissed as she walks away. Fred's parents are about to announce who's Fog King and Queen as Fred interrupts and tells the crowd that Manny is Velma. They end up giving the crown to Norville, who deliberately pushed Gigi into the pier to pretend to save her. Gigi tries to leave the fog festival as we hear her let out a scream in the midst of the fog. Nah, y'all can't kill Gigi already. Velma confronts Daphne and apologizes to her about how she's been treating her. Velma and Daphne are about to make up as friends when the serial killer attempts to grab them and then chases them with a knife. We go to Norville trying to find Gigi as Fred steals the crown from Norville. Norville chases Fred as the serial killer is chasing Velma and Daphne. This whole chase scene also pays homage to the original Scooby Doo, as the music resembles the chase scenes that would happen in the original series whenever the gang was getting chased by a villain. They even go through all the doors just like how they did during the original series. Fred, Norville, Daphne, and Velma all bump into each other as the serial killer tries to attack them. Velma calls the cell phone number and the phone appears on Fred's head. Norville makes up with Gigi yet again as she throws the crown in the garbage and walks away with Norville. Fred grabs the crown as he now is the self-proclaimed Fog King via forfeit. Velma and Daphne leave the festival as now Velma has a serial killer cell phone. Velma promises that after she finds her mom, she will hang out with Daphne more as we go into the credits. The post-credit scene shows Fred back at the funhouse as someone grabs him from behind. So we finally get intel on the serial killer. Velma now has obtained the serial killer's cell phone, which brings us one step closer to finding out who the serial killer is. Like always, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications. Coming up next is Velma Recap Episode 8. Thank you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.